your biggest loss in real estate, in luxury real estate as a realtor?
Well, I don't know if it was necessarily a loss because I learned a lot, but I had a really famous California agent call me, and he had a ball player, a very famous football player. I was referred to him by a different client, and he called and just pretty much said, "Hey, I want you to just write up the contract for me." And I was like, "It doesn't work like that. Like, you don't just write a contract." And so we negotiated the split for me to help this athlete, and it turned into worst deal, the biggest nightmare. I ended up in court. It was so awful. But like I get to say I represented this person, and I'm like, this wasn't worth it. And I didn't really take control of the situation because he was bigger than me in the real estate world. He has a television show. I kind of like felt honored that he chose me, and I just didn't want to mess it up. But with that came a lot of passive moves on my part, a lot of passive decisions. And I kind of, in hindsight, I should have taken control and told him like, "Hey, this is what we have to do. I need to be more in touch." So when you work with an athlete, obviously there's like NDAs involved, but there's also lawyers. So I don't really just get to go to my client and say, "Hey, this is what we need to talk about." I have to go to the lawyer or the people who are working for him in order to get to him. So it's kind of like this game of telephone, right? And then you've got the athlete or the celebrity who they're in their own world, right? Like they maybe don't live in my world, and I'm trying to get this transaction done for you. And there was one thing that happened. I had told him before we closed, I said, "Listen, because of who you are, you need to put your house in an LLC." Well, with all the turmoil that came with this transaction, the lawyers did not put his house in an LLC. So it has his name out on public record and his address. And I got a text and was like, "Why is my name on public record? The paparazzi are here, like all these things." And I said, "Dude, I told you to put your house in an LLC, and there's nothing I could do." His lawyers who were handling it, there's nothing I can do, you know? So sometimes what seems like a shiny object is not that fun. I ended up making, I think, about $10,000 on that. And it was about 8 months of my life. A lot of tears, a lot of questions with my broker. Like I said, I ended up in court. So I'm not really sure that like celebrities are ever going to be my thing just because it was such a torturous, but it also made me stronger. Like I have like, that's why this podcast is called Failure is Knowledge. Like I learned so much, and I'm really grateful for that experience because it made me hard and it seasoned me, and it made me think in a more anticipatory way rather than like, okay, I'm just gonna, you are who you are, and I want to make sure that I'm doing it right for you. No, you came to me because I'm the expert and I should have taken control.